Right, so I just want to continue this video just on slopes. So what we said there really quickly is just to recap on, so I'll actually write it here. The steeper the slope, the higher the number. The steeper the slope, the higher the number. So don't get confused by the plus and minuses. Like how you figure out plus and minus is if you have your axis. So as I said here, we always read our axis from left to right. If it goes up from left to right, so it's going up the way, you know it's positive. And read from left to right. If it goes down from left to right, it's negative. And like we always, when we're reading English, we always read from left to right. So you read your graph in the exact same way. The steeper the slope, the higher the number. So we were able to identify what was positive and what was negative. So we looked at the two positive ones first, so with K and M. K was definitely steeper than M, therefore it was going to be the higher number, which was 2. And M therefore was an 8. If we look at the negative graph, so we know J is negative, J is negative, and you know N is negative. So you have to think, okay, which one has the steeper slope? So it's definitely the N is steeper. So ignore the fact that there's a minus in front of the numbers over here. Like just ignore the fact they're negative for the minute. We've identified the two negative graph. So or we've identified the two negative letters. So we know it is going to be either N or J. But you have to think the steeper the slope, the higher the number. So which number is higher between a quarter and 1? 1 is bigger. So even if you want to say instead of higher, the bigger the number. 1 is bigger, so therefore that's going to be the steeper one. So the steeper is definitely N, and that leaves us the process of elimination. J is going to be the minus a quarter. The last way that I think they could ask you about slopes is if they, and I don't really have to even do this question, if they give you a graph, and so if I just plot 6 minus 1 there, that's A. B would be 12 minus 3. Right, so just say something like this. So say they actually didn't give us them values up here. So we didn't really know this information. But they'd drawn a line that went from here to here. And like they may not even identify. So what I'll do is I'll draw my line going through them points. So six minus 1 and 12. Oh well, whatever, it won't even work. It won't, I can't get it at the minute, but we'll just use this graph here. So say they gave us that line and said find the slope of the line, right? The first thing you're going to know is that it's definitely negative, because from left to right it's going down, therefore it's negative. It's the first thing you know. How are you going to find that slope? Like you can't use your y equals mx plus c, you don't have an equation. But one thing you do have is you could pick 2 points on that line. So like if you pick any 2 points, and make it easy on yourself, we pick that point there, that's on the line, and then this point here. There's so many on this line, there's so many points you could pick. Like the ones that I wouldn't recommend you pick is something like this, where that would be like 3, 1.75 or something. It's not really clear. So I'd avoid picking something like that. I'd pick ones that are directly on axes or directly on numbers. So we'll call this point, you know that point is 6 and 0, and you know this point is 12 minus 3. Now you have 2 points. Label your points, so x1, y1, x2, y2, and let's find our slope. So we know that m is equal to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So you're going to have minus 3 minus 0 all over 12 minus 6. So you have minus 3 all over 6, which is minus a half. And your slope is negative, and it is minus a half. So just be aware that label the points and then you can solve. Okay, hopefully that covered the whole slope and you understand each of them. Oh, actually, I forgot to say about counting from rise over run. So it's another way you could do it if you were to count. So if I just clear this. So in a junior cert you might have used the rise over run formula. Rise divided by run. So rise is going to be, oh, I didn't mean to delete the actual line. Right, just get rid of some bits of it. Right, so in junior cycle, so as I said, junior cycle you've done the rise over run, where the rise is how high the graph goes. So rise, so in an exam it will definitely go that little bit further. Okay, so you'll have, the rise would have been from here up as far as here. You'd have 1 value, 2 value, 3 value, 4, 5, 6. And then the run would have been from this length. So obviously I'm drawing in that little bit, but in an exam it will give you the full length. So 1 value, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 6 over 12. So the rise over run I give is half. You have to be able to then say, okay, but that was going that's a negative slope because from left to right it was going down, therefore rise over run is minus a half. So that's your last method of the slope.